Hi, Unity kids and families and parents and caregivers and friends and maybe not Unity kids, whoever's joining us today. Thank you for being here. Today we have another book and it's called God's Dream. And I think this is a great one to come after our last one. In this book, we talked a little bit about God's dream, right? We talked about God wanting us to always remember that God is always within us and we are good and we should bring that goodness into the world by being ourselves. Okay, so that's what this one is all about, when God made you. And here today, we're going to talk a little bit more about God's dream, but it's not just about us and about being who we are and bringing that into the world, but this one's about how we interact with other people and what God really wants for us to do when it comes to being together as one. So let's read a little bit about this story, which is called God's Dream. This one's by Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Douglas Carlton Abrams. Let's get started. God's Dream. Dear child of God, what do you dream about in your loveliest of dreams? Do you dream about flying high or rainbows reaching across the sky? Do you dream about being free to do with what your heart desires? Or about being treated like a full person, no matter how young you might be? Do you know what God dreams about? If you close your eyes and look within your heart, I am sure, dear child, you will find out. Close our eyes. Can you find out? God dreams about people sharing. God dreams about people caring. Dear child of God, it does happen that we get angry and hurt one another. Soon we start to feel sad and so very alone. Sometimes we cry and God cries with us. But when we say we're sorry and forgive one another, we wipe away our tears and God's tears too. Each of us carries a piece of God's heart within us. And when we love one another, the pieces of God's heart are made whole, right? Because God's within each and every one of us. God dreams that every one of us will see that we are all brothers and sisters. Yes, even you and me. Even if we have different mommies and daddies or live in different faraway lands. Even if we speak different languages or have different ways of talking to God. Even if we have different eyes or different skin. Even if you are taller and I am smaller, even if your nose is little and mine is large. Dear child of God, do you know how to make God's dream come true? It is really quite easy. We can all do it. As easy as sharing, loving, caring. As easy as holding, playing, laughing. As easy as knowing we are family because we are all God's children. Will you help God's dream come true? Let me tell you a secret. God smiles like a rainbow when you do. The end. Wasn't that a beautiful book? I really love this one, and this is one that my daughter Cameron and I read often. We enjoyed this one. So thank you for joining me today, and thank you for reading this book. And I hope you remember, we're not seeing a lot of people these days, but when you do get out and you see people, remember God's dream, right? We want to be kind, we want to be loving, and we want to see the good and the God within each and every one of us, but in other people as well. Okay? So thank you for joining me today, and hope you enjoyed this book and some of our other books that we read as well. All right, until I see you next time. Bye.